Ladies and gentlemen, today I present to you Mr. Rat Kiley, a Vietnam War veteran who was a medic. So, Mr. Kiley, let's get right to it.
Hey man, thanks. I really appreciate the opportunity to sit down and talk about this.
So, at what age did you join the military, and for what reason did you join?
So let's see. When I joined the military, I was 19 years old, just a young boy. Was patriotic, loved my country. I just felt like there was a need for me to get out there and again serve my country, protect the freedom that we give all the millions of great Americans. But it was just something I felt like I had to do. I wanted to do, and so I had a medical. I knew the medical pathway before I came in, and it just felt like the right opportunity for me to pursue and try to make it a career. Just it felt right. It fit into a piece. It was like a puzzle piece. It just fit right in.
How was the atmosphere in Vietnam?
So when we were in Vietnam, the atmosphere was awful. I mean, it was disgusting. It was dirty. It felt like it rained all the time, which that's not fun ever. But it just it was a lot of mud, a lot of disease going around, honestly. And it was just a place that you wouldn't think exists unless you've experienced it. And as long as I was there, it's not something you want to be a part of. But as I joined, I knew things would come to what it was. But it's pretty tough. It was a disgusting war in terms of the amount of fatalities, but I mean that's what you're going to get in war. So I'd say overall it was just a really, really bad atmosphere in all aspects, really.
What brought you and Tim so close in those years of war?
So during those years of war, it's kind of like sports, for example. You're with these guys, you're on a team, and within our group, I just felt like me and Tim, we were somewhat alike, but I'm sure people will say that he was the one that was always there to keep me in shape. I love telling stories. I've got many of them. I can ask any question. I can tell you about anything that went on. But we just got together and we clicked. And also there's that one time where he got shot and I was the medic. That was rough, but I was there to I had M&Ms and comics for when things weren't going good and just kind of take your mind off the injury. But I mean stuff like that. We grew a close relationship, and it's led to many years of memories and a friendship I'll forever hold close to my heart.
As a medic, what was the most difficult part about the job?
The most difficult part of being a medic is seeing that side of war. The fact that it's just disgusting. All the blood and the pain and the suffering that goes into war. It's just tough to be the guy that has to sit there and try to make it better, to the best of your abilities. A guy comes in that's been shot in the neck. It's not good. All the blood. It's something you have to know what you're doing. You have to act quick, and it's just one of those. The adrenaline really rushes through you. The guys come in, and when you do save them, great. When you can't, that's when it really hits you. And just doing that so long, it's just hard to watch. And you start to think, well, what if I could have saved those guys that I didn't, and I couldn't. So it's tough, but it's my job.
So what was your favorite part of being a medic?
The best part about it, though, it is the part of saving those guys. They come in. I mean, when you're shot, I don't care if you get shot in the calf, you're going to think that that's the end, and that's where it's going to end. That moment right there is where you're gonna die, and I'm the guy that has to sit there and joke with you to an extent, but make you know that it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna be the one that sits here, gets you fixed up. We've got all the resources, the abilities, the knowledge to where nothing's a problem. So we that's my favorite part. Developing the relationships with the guys. I might not be out there, in the front of the battle, but I'm still a part of it, and I still get to experience it.
So in Trebon, what was it like seeing Fosse go down that path that he went down?
Oh man, so in Trebon, man, that place was wild. Fosse, Mark Fosse, I love that guy. He's such a good guy. He's a jokester. Me and him could joke a lot together, and he thought it would be a good idea to bring his high school girlfriend over to Vietnam. It was something that we kind of joked about, and he made it reality and made it happen. It was a couple different flights, one to Thailand, one over to Vietnam, and then to get to where they were, it was a helicopter ride. Like it was pretty tough to do. But he made it happen, and with her being there and being around all of the, I guess, resources of war. She learned everything, and she became a part of the group, and it was just crazy to see the path that she went down after so long of being there, because we kind of we're immune to it, knowing like we've been there, we're gonna be here. It's probably not ending anytime soon, and we just kind of you become desensitized to it. And she comes in there, something she had never seen, never been a part of, and it just changed her. But if that's something that she enjoys, and that's what her heart and her soul wanted her to do, I hate it for Fosse, but that's what she wanted. So it was tough to see it happen, but I think it'll work out better for him. There's better days ahead, but it happens. Girls can be a little crazy.
So did Marianne make as big of an impact as Tim O'Brien made it seem like?
So when Marianne was there, she did make a huge impact on our group. She was always there. She went out with the Vietnam guys, a few times and learned different recipes, and came back and would make dinner, and when we would be playing music, just having a woman in the presence, and she's dancing and everything, it just kind of keeps the mood light. But she made a huge impact. All the guys really enjoyed the relationship they had with her. She was a big part of the crew, and she was awesome. And to see her go with the Greenies that first time, you knew something wasn't right. She took off. She was gone for 3 days, and when she came back, Fosse proposed to her. They're getting married. He's sending her back, and at first you're like, okay, well, maybe everything will work out. Well, it didn't. She just felt the need that she needed to stay. Went off with the Greenies, and she's somewhere in the woods of Vietnam, and that's what she wanted. So can't fault her for it, but it is what it is.
So what brought you to the point where you shot yourself in the foot to get medically discharged?
Golly, so just so many years of doing the same thing but experiencing it in different ways. It just takes a toll on your body. Being in war, being in that scenario where somebody's constantly being brought in and you have to treat them for these injuries that are suffered. It's hard to do. Like I said, you grow close relationships with guys. When my best friend, when he died in war, it was really hard. Sorry. It was tough. And it's one of those situations that you can only take it so long. And I knew I wasn't at retirement age, and I had to get out of there. I was miserable. I was depressed, and um, I just couldn't handle it. So, I did what I felt like I had to do, shot myself in the foot, and, I was medically discharged. So that's where I'm at now. And, it sucks, but, I'm back. I've found myself again. Um, and, my life's great. And, towards that end of my career, I wasn't enjoying it, and I needed something to change.
So knowing all that you know now, and all the memories and friends that you made, would you go back and do it again?
With all the memories and friends that I've made, it's pretty pretty crazy to look back and say I would or wouldn't do it again, because there were so many, you know, things that went on and friendships that happened and everything. It was a lot of fun. We had great times. There were bad times, I mean, there's always bad times. But just the relationships, the memories, the beer we drank, I mean, it was fun. It was something that I dedicated my career towards. And once I did that, there was no going back. So, doing that, I would say I'd go back and do it again. Um, it was a lot of fun. It was tough, but it was a good time, and it's forever something that I'll hold close to me and cherish. But yeah, I'd go back and do it again.
Well, Mr. Kiley, thank you for sitting down with me today. It really means a lot to be able to talk to you today. I hope that we can do it again sometime.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, and I appreciate you having me, and maybe we can do this again. Thanks.